Right, welcome guys. So there is mounting rumours and rumblings that basically if Paramount wins the bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, that James Gunn will be fired. Now, that doesn't mean anyone's going to jump in his place. In fact, actually, it looks like someone working for Paramount already will jump in James Gunn's place, by the looks of it. So this is a report which is all centered around Zack Cregger being courted by Paramount specifically to make another DC movie, or to make a DC movie, but for Paramount if the bid goes through and they manage to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. So it's interesting. It's really interesting. The thing is, will he be fired in the traditional sense? Probably not. James Gunn is what I'm referencing here. However, this will close around the time his contract is up. So they just don't have to renew it. Which is quite comical in some regards, because that's effectively what they said R.E. Henry Cavill. And also what Disney said R.E. Gina Carano. That was their excuse. Well, we're just not renewing his contract. Oh, we're just not renewing her contract. She's not fired. We're just not renewing her contract. So, it's interesting. I think this is very, very interesting. I have done many, many reports on this entire situation as it's been sort of developing and moving around. And this is a further development in this. It does sound like James Gunn is going to be out of the DCU or DC Universe, whatever you want to call it, if at the very least Paramount buys it. Now, does that mean Zack Snyder will be in? There'll be lots of people that will be saying this is a sure bet. Absolutely. I don't know. And that's all I'll say on it, because I don't know. But let's take a look at this report. This is on World of Real. And they just say, is it already game over for DC Studios and James Gunn? It's a bit worrying that Zack Cregger is shopping his DC film to Skydance. Paramount, Skydance, Paramount. Same company now. Skydance bought Paramount. I thought Gunn still had the authority to greenlight DC projects. And it is. That is interesting, right? Zack Cregger going off and shopping his new DC movie to a different company entirely. Yeah, that's surprising. That is interesting. It's worth a video for sure. There's a blurb in Puck's latest report that Paramount Pictures co-chair Josh Greenstein recently travelled to Prague. Beautiful place, Prague. I went there once for a weekend. It was really nice. Very salty food, though, but really nice overall. To court Cregger while he shoots his Resident Evil reboot for Sony. The particular subject being discussed was Cregger's desire to write and direct his Gotham set DCU movie. Okay. Well, that's okay. I mean, it makes sense that Cregger would discuss it with Paramount if the trades are reporting that he is, he's going to be sort of the Paramount is in the running to buy Warner Brothers. That makes sense. Cregger would go to what he thinks is the potential purchaser of the company. But what's interesting is that Greenstein said he would be more than happy to make it happen. So like I said, that sounds like James Gunn is out, doesn't it? No longer involved on the decision-making process. That's a backhanded slap in the face to Warner Brothers, James Gunn and Peter Safran, who currently control who directs DC movies. A choice they make after developing scripts to their liking. Yeah, that's interesting. That is fascinating. So the Cregger-Greenstein meetup is a noticeable development, indicating that change may very well happen if indeed the Ellisons prevail in their bid to acquire Warner Brothers. So they're circumventing the current individuals that work for DC. And they're saying, well, I'll make it happen if we buy it. So yeah, I'd say this sounds like the writing's on the wall for James Gunn. But from the perspective that his contract will be up. Because it will be up. So that makes sense. So back in July, Cregger stated that he planned to pitch a Gotham-set DC movie to Gunn. The Hollywood Reporter later reported that the title of Cregger's DC movie was Henchman, a project he's been eager to make, and it might even be based on an episode from Batman the Animated Series. The story is rumoured to centre on a low-level henchman in Gotham who unexpectedly incapacitates Batman, finally earning the street cred he's always wanted. Harley Quinn and Joker feature in the script, which Cregger has described as the best thing I've ever written, crafted even before his 2022 breakout Barbarian. So it's not like this would be an automatic green light in Gunn's DCU. Maybe that's why Cregger accepted a meeting with Greenstein. There's a delicate dance happening behind the scenes, with DC bosses Gunn and Safran likely treading carefully around anything Batman related, giving the Batman director Matt Reeves room to build out the sequel and their own Dark Knight feature, The Brave and the Bold, currently in the works. So there's been speculation and fan concern that new Ellison-owned Warners might want a different creative direction or view Gunn's DCU slate as risky, especially given performance concerns. But as it stands, it's still early days. Although Gunn might not be wondering what his fate could be under Ellison's leadership, there's no guarantee Warner Brothers will accept Skydance's $71 billion bid to acquire the company. Which actually is what's kind of happened here. Well, sort of anyway. So we've got this. This is this further statement of what I've just covered here. But there's this. So if Paramount loses bid for Warner Brothers Discovery, Ellison has a backup plan apparently. Okay, well what's this then? So effectively, according to the New York Post, senior executives and sources close to the process say the race for Warner Brothers Discovery's assets has become a full-blown horse race, a toss-up, with 50-50 odds between two entertainment giants, Netflix and Paramount, basically. Netflix did an all-cash offer yesterday. Did a video on that. But Skydance has a plan B. It goes straight to the shareholders. They want to just straight up go straight to the shareholders and offer them money, which makes sense. So we don't currently know what's going on in this entire situation. I don't think it's been completely curbed just yet, although there is statements like this. Paramount accuses Warner Brothers of running an unfair sales process as studio fight turns public. So that's interesting. It's a pretty big development. I mean, that's interesting, right? So, yeah, please be assured that the Warner Brothers Discovery Board attends to its fiduciary obligations with the utmost care. They have fully and robustly complied with them and will continue to do so. So there's a lot going on here, but it doesn't look like, at the very least, if Paramount bought Warner Brothers, which they might very well do, remember, although this is interesting development. It is, from what looks to be anyway, just between Netflix and Paramount. But if Paramount was to buy them, it looks like James Gunn's fired. Contract not renewed. What do you think? Leave your thoughts down below.